Hey everybody!
Hey guys!
This is MaJeliv. We're the Vasquez family. I'm Matthew.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Jemmy.
I'm Jose.
And I'm Joshua.
And today we are going to be reacting to the third and potentially final trailer of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This is a 3-minute trailer from what you've said? From what you've told
roughly.
Me? Roughly. We've gotten teaser, sneak peeks of what could be potentially in store. We've gotten a glimpse as to the gameplay, the mechanics, the new fuse, and all these exciting stuff coming. But today we're hoping to get a little bit more of a story trailer, a little bit more of a glimpse as to what these characters are going to be going through.
That's the hope.
Similar to the Breath of the Wild story trailer that they released prior to its release. Because we are now only a month away.
Less than a
month
today
away.
is. Yeah.
Not that anyone's counting.
Not that anyone's counting.
But we are extremely excited and we're happy that you guys have joined us today. So we're going to jump on into the third trailer of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Here we go. Whoa.
It feels like we're flying. I love this. Oh, look how beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Just got chills. It's the constructs.
Gorgeous game.
Yo.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Camera angles.
This with his
The
hands.
music is beautiful, man.
Oh.
Oh, dude! Yes!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's Hano Village. Look, they're setting up camp now. Back in Castletown.
Dang.
Man.
The desert.
Oh.
Moldugas? No.
Oh.
That was a dungeon.
Oh. What?
Oh my gosh! Whoa. Was that Demise?
That had to be Demise. Dude, chills in my spine. What?
What?
Lineru? No.
Whoa. What?
No, dude.
No way!
What is?
What was that? Who was that?
Whoa.
Zelda, we rely on your knight and that legendary sword he carries. Our last line of defense will be Link.
Link.
Dang.
Oh,
That was a Zonai, dude. You saw what he was wearing? What is that? This game is gonna be insane. It's gonna be absolutely incredible. Whoa! There is so much going on.
That's so cool.
What is this?
No way!
Oh, they held nothing back for this.
Whoa.
I know why I am here. It's something only I can do.
That's Demise, dude. There is no way that's not Demise.
Do not look away. You witness a king's revival and the birth of his
Oh
new
my gosh.
world.
That's Matt Mercer, dude.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no, he's there!
That's Matt Mercer.
The music! Riju!
Oh my god.
You are not alone.
Sighted!
Excited! What?
Link.
No, you're fighting alongside.
Oh my gosh! What? That is not okay!
No, dude. Dude, they
Oh,
they have
That's
no
why
right.
it took
They have
so
no right.
long. That's why it took so long, because they're
That
just
looks like
Link. You must find me.
Oh man. She's like lost. Dang.
What did we just experience?
I have never felt like that over a video game.
No! No!
What the heck? Dude,
No.
they're playing, man.
The fact that they held all of that back.
Dude, that is
They told us nothing. That was everything. There's, I can't even begin. There's
like, we're not-
dungeons.
yes.
There's new bosses.
Oh my
I
gosh,
can't.
dude.
This is
And characters, dude, the amount of characters, like...
characters. I need water. Hold on.
Look, I don't know if it's because I'm sitting here and I'm receiving what you're feeling, but that was powerful, man. The visuals, it's such a gorgeous game. I mean, I thought Breath of the Wild was gorgeous, but then all of the elements that are layered into this, there's a cinematic experience as I'm watching this, and yet more because the story, all of those things that match a lot to what you go through. We've all kind of gone through, so it's a lot. It's a lot that just kind of hit us. So go ahead.
Yeah, you guys speak because I mean,
So
as a video game, it looked like Dad said, very cinematic. It looks. I love the story that there's so much involved in the Zelda games. But you guys saw a lot of details that I couldn't understand.
well, the thing is,
I need to watch that again.
I need to watch. Yes, I think I'm going to be watching that again for next. But
The next month.
The thing is that, like, the music, first of all, was beautiful, especially the ties they have back to the original Zelda theme. But they had Ganondorf in the flesh, like that was him.
Absolutely.
I think it's Matt Mercer voicing him.
I think so,
There's
too.
no way that's
But
not
what's
him.
interesting, though, is it also sounded like Matt Mercer for the Zonai guy. Right? Or somebody
Yeah,
else,
it's-
potentially.
it's
or whoever
fascinating.
that is. I don't...
It seems like maybe Zelda's in
Matt
the
Mercer
past.
is somehow involved,
But
possibly.
I think it's crazy because there's so many things, like the way that he had the rocket attached to him. There was like a dungeon rising out of the ground in the Gerudo Desert. The bosses,
Even
the,
that little cart,
there's
like
just
the train thing, reminded me of Skyward Sword.
yes, no, and
And
I
that pirate ship, like, there's so much.
so much history, so much backstory of each area, and also the way that you're fighting with your friends, like
Oh, that was
Riju
so
and Sidon. Those are characters that you meet, but you never actually fight with them. Like you go inside the Divine Beast, and they're like, "Oh, it's up to you now." Now you're fighting with them, and it's this collaborative. There's just a lot in there. There's a lot in there,
There's a
and
lot of
I just
shit,
love
yeah.
that they've held back all of it until now. Like none of this was disclosed. Like there's
And even still, they still haven't disclosed, like, anything.
right.
You know, it's you know, when they were talking about how they were gonna, you know, a different Hyrule and stuff, the one thing that I was hoping was that it wasn't just gonna be physical landscape changes
Because
or
he said it, like he said unfamiliar Hyrule, and I'm like, did you mean to say familiar? But I didn't recognize this at all.
No,
Like
no.
this was so different.
It was so different, and I
It was
think
beautiful.
the biggest thing I wanted was
Towns and
exactly was not just for the landscape of Hyrule to change physically, but for the people to change as well, because that's half of the whole experience is the travelers you encounter.
Side missions.
And,
And
you
you
know,
see how
to
he
see
was-
the people camping out in Castle Town, like the people are moving, and Hyrule is still very much a breathing. It's a place that very much breathes and has its own life.
And another thing too is like you saw how he was just helping those travelers get to a certain place by building like a carriage for them, and how they were sitting in the back. Like there's like simple things like that, and then that giant ice monster. And then there's so much that I saw and also didn't see and didn't hear. Like I know that we were like yelling in excitement, but I would love to go back and listen to the music and the
Yeah.
but it's just a whole new world, and the Zonai history and the past and it's just so exciting, and I think they have to focus on that because I feel like Zelda went back in time.
That's
I
what
think
it looks
She's
like.
lost in the past.
It
and so-
reminds me of Skyward Sword in a sense, where she went back and through the And
Why
and
would
the
she
two-
go back? Is what I
I don't know, but it seems like she is in a place in time, or because she's saying like, "Please find me, Link," but it's very very interesting the way that Zelda is like stuck in this other time,
place? Yeah.
in this other place. It seems like she's in another time because there's like a helpless feeling of looking up to the skies of like, where are you? Come and find me, because it's like the same Hyrule but in the past. I mean, it's so hard to know exactly what's
Well,
going
there was
on.
also a shot of Hyrule, but like as if it was back to normal.
Right.
almost like as it was back in time. So I wonder if they are going to work with time in some way.
The one thing I do have to mention though, because although we saw Ganondorf's face, there was very much, and maybe they're gonna kind of fuse Demise and Ganondorf into one being.
Yeah, why not?
At this point, in terms of the way he looks, but there was one figure there that had really like the long hair and looked so much like Demise.
But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's Ganondorf. He's had so much time to like grow and to
yeah.
become. And another thing too is like we see him mummified. Like how is he now with flesh and like alive, unless time is being tampered with, you know, and he's being reversed back to what he used to be. And
The
and-
game just
You might be
seems
onto
packed.
something there because
Yeah.
the music started to rewind
right.
Yeah, like, it always
it's
has
big.
that
as,
rewind
It's
sound.
big
as the
rewinding.
castle, but the castle was rising. So although it sounded like time was reversing, the castle was like rising from the ground.
As things were falling, it was like.
So it's a very very fascinating.
I think
What is it like messing with time?
I think
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway is that this game is so much more than we could possibly imagine in terms of the scale. Like, one thing is, of course, the story. I think that's what it was too. I always imagined that the story would be bigger
Stronger, yeah.
and stronger. But not only that, but just the whole world. Like, everything that we thought we knew of Hyrule now is we're about to get our minds blown.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So there was that moment. I don't know, my love. You probably have a lot of questions too. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not attempting to fully understand all of it because it is a complex world, and I don't want to be like, oh, well, what, you know.
And we
I
can
think
watch
I'll
it
watch
back
it
and-
again and
yeah.
get Joshy to explain it. We have a month
We
to
have a
catch
month.
me up.
Yeah.
yeah.
To finish the game too.
But it
Yeah.
does look exciting as an outsider looking in because I don't feel like a full outsider because I did see a lot of your game when you played, but a part of me is very new to this, so I'm looking at it as someone who doesn't know too much about it, but I am excited for what I saw and I can't wait to watch you do all that cool stuff. I can't for the life of me probably do anything very successful in the game because I'm not good at it, but I do enjoy watching it, so I'm looking forward to that.
From a story element, and I don't know if you relate to me in this.
Yeah.
What I loved about this trailer that I already love more than Breath of the Wild is that there's that story element of very much of Link has to get to Zelda for whatever reason.
Yeah.
In Breath of the Wild, yes, Zelda's involved, of course, but she was so distant. You know,
Well, he
she
was
was
also
always
in
so
100 years longer.
right. That's what I mean. They were literally separated by so much time, and the main focus in Breath of the Wild is these the beasts. What are they?
The
called?
divine beasts.
The divine
Yeah.
beasts.
Yeah.
So it was a very beautiful game, and the game itself felt very much like just a giant puzzle to eventually land at a place where you can defeat. Is it Ganondorf you fight or
Calamity Ganon.
Calamity.
Yeah.
Calamity Ganon. So those details I don't know, as you could see, but what I'm getting at with this that really kind of jolted my emotional axis, if you want to call it something, is this sense of the stakes are higher because now, I mean, Zelda's literally calling out to Link in a way that sounded different to me. And again, I'm kind of like you, we're kind of a little bit more on the outside of this experience, but story is everything. And if you follow our channel, story for us is everything. Characters, of course, and the characters of Link and Zelda they pop a little more in this game, it feels like, already with the trailer. So I'm really excited. But here was my question. The arm, I noticed his arm was kind of tarnished or burnt or something when he was falling. And then they showed us that moment where that stuff wrapped around him.
I didn't
do
even
you-
see that. I think
Yeah.
that was like stars were.
No, yeah,
I was
it
prob-
almost looked like tattooed.
Yeah,
it looked
burnt,
burnt or something. So obviously I feel like that happens first, and then later he's just walking around with this scarred up arm.
What
But I
is-
wonder what that means.
What is similar is that hand that he ends up having, the powerful hand. That's the hand that you saw be put on Zelda's shoulder. Whoever was talking to Zelda.
Yeah.
It was almost as if, I think there's a connection there. I think
Right.
Link, very similar to, like, let's say a Fee in Skyward Sword, is gonna have almost like a companion that's not there all the time physically, but is the presence is there, the power's there. It's kind of guiding them to where Zelda could potentially be.
I was curious. I am noticing a lot of like voice acting and people playing different characters. But Link seems to not have a voice. Correct?
Not yet.
Yeah, no.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you like the impression of because
Bless you.
because you're Link in the game, you're the voice of Link, and is that better to be left kind of quiet, or would you prefer him to have a voice?
He hasn't really had a voice besides the like expressions that he makes, which has been the same voice actor. Yeah, all those
Jumping.
exactly. So it's kind of always been that. But this new character that Zelda is speaking to is very fascinating, especially if
Yeah.
he has parallels to Link.
The reality is, up until this game, you've been able to name the Link, the hero character, whatever you'd like him to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what a lot of people like about Zelda, the
That's
games.
true.
That
You add a name.
that
your
you
own
can-
name to him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that you can kind of step into the character and he becomes almost like an avatar. But I do feel like with this, he has evolved. The character has evolved. Now that he's officially called Link, there's a level of, Link as a character is starting to evolve and to have more dimension than just sometimes what we put on. I think there's the argument, the argument that, we can't really connect to a character if they have their own name or they have their own voice. I don't agree with that. I think you look at a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, which is obviously a very different game, but you have a character like Arthur Morgan who, based on how the game is created, who Arthur Morgan is very much determined by who you make him to be.
Or what you say. and
What you say,
you
the
do.
choices you make, what you wear, so there is a lot of space still to still make Link very much your own.
Right.
As far as I see it, Link right now is just mute. He can't speak, and there's just that level of, I get it. It's not that big of a deal, but I definitely would be curious to see what that would be like, and I do think that you could still connect to a character like Link if there is a voice, but I love how Link has a name now, and we can be able to connect on that level, because there is a bigger story here at play. It's not just us stepping into a fantasy world. There's a lot more at play, and that relationship between Link and Zelda is being established, and it's gonna be something very special. I already feel it. That's how you raise the stakes, because we know that there's a relationship between Zelda and Link.
That's why Skyward Sword was so great.
Exactly.
Because Zelda wasn't so resistant to Link. Of course, she had a mission to do, but she was also sad and sorrowful because she liked Link, and she was going to tell him, like, in the first 2 hours of gameplay, like, she tells him, she's about to tell him that she likes him, and then she gets taken away by Girahim.
And the fact that it's the same game director, the same people, the same guy behind it in terms of the story and directing the game, you feel that, and I think that's why the whole series now, with Skyward Sword at the very beginning, being, in terms of chronologically, being the very beginning, and this not being the most recent, there is now like a very linear, overarching story that connects it, so that there is truly something going on. A franchise like this that's kind of been scattered and jumbled, there is truly a cohesive relationship now between Link and Zelda, and their place in this, in Hyrule, and I think that's. And Ganon
And the
because he is
three-headed
very
dragon,
much-
guys. I mean, that is from the original Zelda game.
Yeah.
And they have, like, a full-out cutscene of him looking up at this dragon. Like, that's not...
So
It's so incredible.
What are your thoughts, Jenny?
Yeah, Jemmy, you haven't said much.
No, I'm just like in shock. I'm agreeing with what everyone is saying. It definitely does bring a lot of elements of the older games, and it's kind of just all fused together in a very beautiful way. But I definitely love seeing Link fight with the different heroes as well, the descendants of the different divine beast people.
The champions.
Champions, that's the word.
Yeah.
So that made me really happy. Even seeing Sidon, Mifo was always my favorite, so I was like, oh. So I'm like seeing Sidon fight with Link, I'm like, yes! I was very happy about that. But no, I'm very excited. It definitely, in the beginning, I'm like, we were kind of already expecting it to be more of a story trailer. But even the shots from the beginning, I'm like, oh, this is totally going to be a story trailer. So I was just very, very excited. I'm very, very surprised, and I can't wait.
It was a lot.
They can't come any
Yeah.
sooner.
I know. One more thing to look out for when you watch it again. I noticed he was up in the sky and Link was jumping very slowly.
Yeah.
Like he was gliding almost.
like low gravity
So
type.
yeah,
of
like
thing,
what is that? How is he doing that?
like time? Maybe everything moves.
Or how
slower.
high up is he, or is it an ability that he has?
It's on the moon. I don't
There's
know.
so...
he was
Link
flying on a
that's
rocket. You saw he was holding onto a rocket.
And then he also
It
had
was-
help from this Rito person.
Yeah, it's a new
There's a little
character.
bird
A little
friend.
bird.
New friend.
Bird Rito.
Bird Rito.
Like the little birds.
So much
So
there.
much. To
I
look
cannot
forward
wait to
you
hear
guys.
what all of it means, because I hope we could sit and watch like every little bit you play,
Yes. Yeah.
because that will be that'll be something we capture and enjoy because
I'd love to see that.
you're a lot of fun to watch play, and then you guys sometimes
And I also
take your
think
time.
that it didn't take just your first time of playing to really get everything. This game has so
Yeah.
much. Breath of the Wild, like I think the many times you've played, you always discover different things. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah, that's what's great. Is I think the first time we experienced it, it was very much me playing, Jimmy and Josh watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I remember when we got the Switch. That's what's so beautiful about all this. Honestly, is Josh was very not. He didn't want to get a Zelda game. He was like, Zelda really? I just want Mario Odyssey. Like I'd say, like Odyssey besides Zelda.
Yeah.
And I was like, Josh, well, we
Understandable.
don't get a Switch and not get Breath of the Wild. You know, it's just we have to get it. And so then as I'm discovering it for the first time, you know, they're discovering it and we're all falling in love with it. And then once I finish my playthrough, that's when, you know, you discover more. We got more into Wind Waker.
I
And
think
the
we
music
finished Wind
and-
Waker, and I was like, these two things connect. What is this?
Yeah, and I just
And then I went back into Breath of the Wild, and the rest is history.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful to experience it together as a family, as siblings. But I think the best thing is just to see how much like you've grown to love it, and
Yeah.
and how it's just you know, everyone loves it, and in the different ways people love it and why they connect to it. And
I think now everybody
It's
can
great.
be excited about it because there was a lot of speculation and like maybe it's not too different, maybe it's not different enough, maybe it's not worth the price, or man, we wanted more dungeons in the last game. But this just shut everybody down. This is beautiful. There was so much that they didn't say, and now that we're less than a month away, everybody's excited about it. So it's, I mean, we don't know
Exciting
that
times,
yet,
man.
but I'm very excited about it, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to play with you guys.
play it.
And you will definitely start because you showed Breath of the Wild to us.
Yes.
So
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
We definitely will be exchanging and playing all together. That's gonna be it's gonna be so hype. This is so hype. I cannot wait to
Yeah.
dive in. Guys, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. And we want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments as to what you guys thought of this official trailer number 3 of Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. What things stood out to you? Again, we have to watch this again after we close up this video.
there's
But
so much.
any little details that stood out to you? Any theories that you have? Any things that are, you know, connecting the dots after all of the, you know, the details and things that we've gotten? And yeah, it's just exciting times to be a Zelda fan. And we will meet you guys in the comments. Again, we'd love to hear everything you guys have to say. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you guys enjoyed our reaction. Go out there, spread your light, and have a MaJeliv day.
bye.
Bye.